What's up? We're doing another book review. I'm currently traveling right now. I'm actually sitting in the airport. Because I packed too much stuff, I actually couldn't bring me a book, so I decided to find an audio book. And I found this book called Hear My Heart. And that's the current book I'm listening to. And we're gonna get this book review going. I'm gonna let y'all know when I get on. I'm gonna listen on the plane. While I'm on the plane, I'm going to Chicago with my best friend for her birthday. So while I'm on the plane, I'm gonna listen to the book. It's by this lady named Tay Mo'nae. I seen her on TikTok. So I figured I'd get her audio book. And then the only reason I got this one because this sounds interesting. It's about a deaf girl. She's engaged to a boy, but he don't really care about her deafness. But his brother is, so I'm assuming she fall in love with the brother. So I'm gonna figure out how that's gonna go. But I'm gonna go ahead and start the book. When I get on the plane, I should be boarding soon. So yeah. All right. So I just made it to my hotel, and I was on a plane. I was able to listen to chapters 1 through 6. So I'm gonna just go through those chapters, and then yeah, that's gonna be it for this part of the video because I leave Chicago on Tuesday. So when I get back on the plane, I'm gonna listen some more, and then I go to Portland after that. So I think we will be finished this book with all my travels. So the characters that we met so far is Rome, Nakira, Summer, Creed, and Dylan. Rome is Nakira's fiance. Summer is Nakira's cousin. Creed is Rome's brother, and Dylan is Creed's best friend. We also met Rome and Creed's parents. I don't remember their names, but they don't seem like good parents at all. It seems like Rome only proposed to Nakira for the image and for a promotion from his dad. That's where I'm getting from that. His family sounds terrible. Like his parents just sound very overbearing. Oh yeah, Grape in the first chapter was kind of crazy. I was not expecting that. It was like spousal because like Nakira was like, I'm not feeling this today. He was drunk and did it anyway. I didn't like that. Nakira is also deaf or hard of hearing. I think she's deaf if I'm not understanding, because she said she could hear before, but now she can't hear at all, but she got hearing aids. When she was younger, I think she had some disease that messed up her hearing. But now she's able to, like, I think it's interesting, people who are hard of hearing or deaf, because like they literally just turn the world off when they want to. So like when she don't feel like hearing nothing, she'll just turn her hearing aids off. And as we also get into these chapters, like I come to the conclusion that she's only with Rome because he was kind of her first real relationship, first everything. It seems like she is definitely settling, because you could just tell he's the bare minimum through all of this. Rome gives off love bombing vibes, because he wanted to reward her for doing the dinner with their parents, and I'm just like, reward? It's kind of like the way to word it and call it a reward is just crazy to me. And like he kind of talks to her like she's a child. I'm like, she's an adult. Like oh my god, you did great. Like like that's weird. And then he tells her, after he gives her this reward, he tells her, also got a work trip I gotta go to tonight. And she's like, because of her condition, she doesn't really like being alone. But she's like, when did you find out about this? And he was like, like a week ago. It just slipped my mind. How would a work trip you have to go on slip your mind from a week ago? Like, that's weird. Then at the end of that chapter, I forgot what chapter that was, but at the end of that chapter, he ends up get into a car accident. And I'm like, that's what happened when you lie. Because you clearly wasn't going on a work trip. And now don't nobody want to tell him what the accident was or how he got into the accident. But now he in a coma. We did find that out. So Nakira ends up calling his brother Creed to let him know, because apparently Creed don't talk to his parents either. But with those kind of parents, I wouldn't talk to them at all either. But calls the brother Creed to let him know, like, hey, your brother's in a coma and it's possible he might not make it. I don't know if you want to come. So Creed end up coming. We get into Creed's chapter and we learn a little bit about Creed. You know, he's a dom. So I was like, whoa, I didn't know we was getting to dom and subplay in this book, but hey, I liked it. But he's a dom. He be going to some club that's very expensive. I don't know, I've never heard of that. But Creed is the dom. He also runs a warehouse company. He started it in their hometown, but then he moved away. I also like how this author, I think her name is Tay Mo'nae. I think, yes, the book is Hear My Heart by Tay Mo'nae. How she describes people, because she described Creed as like a gingerbread colored face. And I was like, wow, I never thought, like, oh yeah, gingerbread color. So he's a gingerbread colored face. And he ends up showing up, to the hospital for his brother, because like he don't have a terrible relationship with his brother. It's really just, it seems like it's really just his parents that's like that's the problem. So like it's like he speaks to his brother and all that, but he don't have no intentions of being around because the brother clearly wants the validation of his parents. But Creed came back to see the parents acted a fool, acted weird, already treating Nakira wrong, like don't want to tell her nothing because she's just a fiance and all that, a mess. Nakira lets Creed stay with her while he's in town, because he don't know when he's leaving, because they don't know when Rome is going to get better. This is how you know Rome is terrible, because Creed, being a basic gentleman, like opening the door for her, carrying her bag and stuff, was impressive to her. And I'm like, Rome don't do that for you? That's crazy. But that's kind of where we left off at chapter 6. So when I leave, get back on the plane, I'm gonna start listening to the next chapters. But so far so good. I'm liking the book. It's very different. Like the dom and subplay, I was like, whoa, but I'm interested, so I'm gonna keep listening. So I'll let y'all know how I continue to like the book. So see y'all soon. All right, I'm back in the airport again, and I was able to listen to chapters 7 through 12. I'm gonna just get this started because I'm waiting on another flight back to Chicago, because I feel like I'm always in Chicago at this point. So, nah. But this trip has had me in Chicago 3 times in the last like week. But chapters 7 through 12, so we're learning a little bit more about Nakira. We find out that nobody in her family learned ASL but her cousin Summer, which is crazy. We also read a little bit more about Creed and sex clubs. Like, he just going to these clubs. After that, we learned that he just likes to be in control. Creed just likes to be in control. We also find out that Nakira is finally starting to notice that Creed is attractive. Rome parents are annoying. Are we surprised? No, because they've been annoying since we met them in the beginning of the book. But they are 10 times worse. It's just a mess. Let's see where we at. But yeah, so Summer is asking all the right questions. She's asking like, what does Rome do for you? Like, pretty much bringing to Nakira's attention that man ain't for you. Since Rome is in the hospital, the parents have the hospital staff stressed out. Like, they're doing a lot. They're kicking people out the hospital. They questioning the doctor, like why the doctor want to do X, Y, and Z. The parents are just very aggy, Um, let's see. Oh, here in my notes I put Nakira has trauma bond with Rome. That's why she feels like Rome is the one because when she met him, she was also like again she had recently got emancipated from her parents. She was on her own. She didn't really have nobody. So like his parents are the way that they are. So they kind of connected over that. So I feel like um, that's why she is with him and like she's kind of stuck on him because like low key kind of the first guy she's been with. And then we find out she met him when she was 17. He was 22. Problematic. But hey, we're not going to get on that. Um, not Rome. Creed took Nakira to a car race and she met Camilla who already knows sign language, so she got her a new friend already. And this is what she needs. She needs friends. That's what it seemed like. Because it seems like it's just her and Rome all the time. Find out that they've been together for 8 years. 8 years is crazy. And he had no desire to learn ASL, and they've been together for 8 years. Ridiculous. The parents are definitely hiding something um, about the accident, about how Rome got into this coma. And Creed said he gonna figure it out. So we gonna see what that's about. I said the same thing though. I think something more happened. Um, but at the end, I think let's see. At the end of this, I think I have an inkling that Nakira may know D. Because I don't know. Something may seem. Something. Something ain't up. Is up about that. Um. But yeah. And then Creed had asked Camilla for something. But it was like it giving surprise. So Creed already got surprises up his sleeves. I'm trying to see what that's about. So now I'm just sitting here waiting for my flight. And then I'm going to continue listening. And then we're going to get back into the book. But so far, so good. So far, so good. I'm enjoying it. It's different, but it's audiobook, so we'll see. All right, I'm still in the airport. My camera died, so I'm gonna record this on my laptop. Ooh, dimming it up. Um, so the last chapters I listened to on the plane was chapters 13 to 21, and Creed is investigating Rome's accident. He got a homeboy who worked for, or he knows somebody who knows somebody who worked for the police department, and he found out more about Rome's accident. And come to find out, he was drinking, driving, and he had another girl in the car when he was supposed to be out of town. And I knew, I knew something was up with that. But anyways, that's not the point of that. So Rome confronts the parents, and of course they deny it. I don't know what's going on with Rome and Creed's parents. They are terrible people. Oh my god, terrible. They also think Nakira is weak minded. And it's almost like, why are you even like being around this girl? Like, I feel like at this point, it seems like a setup. Like, why is she there? If y'all don't like her, Rome treat her terribly. Y'all treat her terribly. Now he in this accident, y'all banning her from the room. Somebody should just tell her, like, oh, we don't like you. We don't want you a part of this family. Because that would be easier to take than y'all just treat her bad. And clearly it's another girl in picture that we don't know about yet, boy, that she don't know about yet. But it's somebody there. So I'm just like, why y'all doing all this to her for no reason? Um, we find out that the dad has cancer. That's why he's trying to get Rome to take over his business. And now he wants Creed to do it since Rome is in a coma. He wants Creed to temporarily do it until Rome get out his coma. And Creed is like, no. And I wouldn't do it either because one, Creed already got his own business. But like,
You having cancer really don't give you an excuse to do any of this. You just being a terrible. It sounded like he was a terrible person before the cancer, and now the cancer is just hiding it up. But but yeah, the dad is dying. Basically, is what I got from that conversation. And since Rome is in a coma, he needs somebody to take over his business because he want to keep it in the family name. But Creed is not interested, and Rome can't do it because he can't wake up. Um, D and Creed meet up again. Um, D seems like the opposite of Creed. I still think D is going to come back up again because I feel like we keep mentioning D. I feel like D is an important part of this. I feel like they know. I feel like Nakira and D probably know each other. That's just my thought because they're D and Creed are using um different names because of they met at the club. So like D's, I'm assuming D's name is not actually D. That's just the name she gave Creed, and Creed told her that his name is Creed, even though it's Creed. I mean, it's like they cutting off their names for each other, whatever. But they meet up again. You know what they do when they meet up because it ain't really much conversation when they meet up. Read the book, you'll get into that. Um, Nakira face appeared in his mind while he's doing the D with Green. Oh, I mean with D. So I'm like, see, Nakira finally seeing that she attracted to Creed. Creed thinking about her doing the do with somebody else. Messy, but they're finally getting on the same page here. Um, what else happened? Oh, Nakira and Camilla had a girls' night, which was cute. Camilla and Dylan, of course, was fighting like they always do. Coming to find out, Camilla had a few miscarriages, so like she's really emotional. So they had a cute little girls' night. Um, Dylan was out looking for Camilla because she turned her phone off. Creed brought her back, and Dylan picked her up and left. It was just a whole cute little girls' night. And then they sat in there and talked. And oh, Nakira talked a little bit. I'm jumping all over the place. I'm looking at my notes, but Nakira talked a little bit about her comic. I think that would be good. Like maybe Tay Mo'nae should turn that comic into a real book. I would. I feel like I would read that. Um, so after Dylan and Camilla leave, Nakira and Creed sit and talk on the couch. Creed is clearly falling in love with Nakira, but she's very oblivious to it because she's dealing with the whole Rome stuff. His parents being terrible people. She's focusing on a lot of things instead of the thing that's in front of her, which is Creed. And then boom, they kissed. I'm like, oh, I was on the plane like, oh, finally, because like the tension has been building. Um, and then this how I know we're taking a turn. Nakira, Nakira didn't even stop the kiss. One, well, she didn't stop it quick enough. Like she played into it for a little bit, and then she jumped up and was like, "Oh no, oh no!" Um, so after that, she meets up with Summer and Camilla. We found out she liked the kiss, and we knew she liked the kiss. But Camilla and Summer are hilarious. Because they are trying to they're talking to her about the kiss and like, oh girl, you're not wrong. Like they are just funny because clearly, well, Camilla don't know wrong, but Summer don't like wrong as she shouldn't because I haven't liked Rome since the first page. So Summer just telling me how it is. Um, Now Nakira is now trying to convince herself that the kiss was enough. She was just, oh, I'm just emotional. This a lot of stuff going on. Like she's trying to convince herself that the kiss was something else, even though it wasn't. He wanted to kiss you, you wanted to kiss him, y'all kiss. Mm. So after that, she leave the little lunch or whatever she was. I think it was a lunch with her and her Summer and Camilla and Creed. is having sex in her house. Well, Rome's house. Um, but he is in there sleeping with somebody, and I don't know, his door is cracked, and she is pretty much standing there watching. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, she's standing there watching, and she's clearly getting jealous. And I'm just like, see, she like him, cause like, why are you jealous? And then I have an inkling. I think that was D. Well, that only makes sense that that was D because he doesn't seem like he has like he go to the sex thing and then find him that person, and then D seems to be like the person he calls when he wants to do that. But yeah. Um, so she's standing there watching him, low key getting turned on, but then she walks away. Um, they don't mention it. They kind of she kind of avoid him for a couple of days. And then he was like, then he wanted to take her rock climbing. Because clearly she's been stressed about everything. So he was like, let's go rock climbing. You might like it. She trying to. This is like I think it was like a little his little pre-fake date for him to be like, oh, let's go on a real date and see what this is about. And that's exactly what happened. They did a pre-fake date at the rock climbing thing. She went at a great time. She didn't know it was a date. They was just he was just like, I'm trying to sing on a good time. Then they got cool after that. And then he was like, I think we should try this for real. And she said no. Are we surprised? No. But she said no. Um and because she was like, it's gonna be weird. I'm dating your brother. All the excuses that she should have at this point. Not surprised, but she said no, and he was just like, I gotta respect it. Um, you are with my brother, like he didn't take it too hard. He was just like, I understand. I just had to shoot my shot, just to shoot my shot to see if it go in, pretty much. Um, I put one of my notes. I put she didn't want to say yes because she knew she likes Creed more than Rome. She already know that she likes him more than Rome already, and she didn't want to feed into that because then that'd make it real. That's that's my thought process. After the rock, I think it was after the rock climbing and the lunch thing. She said she had a meeting with her wedding planner and asked Creed to come with her. Guess who's the wedding planner? D. D is the. I told y'all she knew D. But D is the wedding planner. Her name is Deidre. I knew she had gave him a fake name. So Deidre, aka D, is giving Creed googly eyes while they are here doing the wedding planning and stuff like that. And Creed is not paying her no mind. They acknowledge each other because they're not dating or whatever. But Nakira's getting jealous again. See, jealousy. Um, and after that, I think that was definitely the turning point and the whole thing, her seeing D, seeing how D was looking at Creed, and that was her whole like, okay, let me try this date thing with Creed, and then Nakira go out and plan her own fake little date, and they do a little picnic by the water. Um, we find out that Camilla has been teaching Creed ASL during this date, and I told you he had a surprise up his sleeve. I knew I wasn't tripping, but Camilla has been teaching him ASL on the side, so Creed know a little bit, so he can communicate with her just in case her hair never go down. Something that Rome has never done for her. See, this is another pro towards Creed. Um, they did like on this little picnic date that Nakira planned. They did like a strawberry kiss, something. It was something like a kissing in the strawberry or something. And I just feel like that just seems like a choking hazard that somebody could die doing that. Um, Nakira, being overwhelmed by Creed paying attention to her and appreciating her, she just started crying, and then Creed then kissed the tears away. That that was given the Notebook. I was like, oh my god. Um, oh my god. And I was like, why did I put this? But this is right. I put someone is going to die, either Rome or the dad, because at this point, I think Rome has been in a coma for 2 months, and then the dad is about to start chemo. Well, he has started chemo, and he ain't looking good. And either way, karma is going to take them out because these are some terrible people. The dad's name is also Deacon. I think I was assuming that he was a deacon, but he's not a deacon. His name is just Deacon. Who names their child Deacon? That's weird. Um, he then disowns Creed because Creed was like, again, said no to taking over the company because he got his own company to run. So he said no, and you had already planned to give it to Rome. So just wait for Rome to wake up so he could take it. But the dad disowned him. And are we surprised? No. They're the mom. Ugh. Anyways, I also have a theory. I think the mom used to be like Nakira, and then the men in her life, aka her husband Deacon, that turned her into what she is today. She's just a terrible human being. Um, we also find out at the end of chapter 21 that Creed knew that Nakira was standing there watching when he was doing the do with D, and that's why they did the whole switching of because he knew she was standing there. You gonna have to read or listen to get to see in between the lines of what I'm saying, but he knew she was standing there. I feel like there's only 29 chapters in this book, and I feel like on my next flight, I should be able to finish it. So by the time I get home, the book will be done, I should say. So I will see y'all in the next one.
All right, I'm finally home. So happy to be back in my bed. But on the plane, I finished the book. So I got through chapters 22 to 29 and the epilogue. I listened to all of those while on the plane. So let's just get through that, and then I'm going to give y'all my final thoughts. So, chapters 22 to 29, we really get into pretty much the thick of it. So Nakira is jealous again, of course. Um, she is asking, um, she is asking Creed all these questions like, "Are we exclusive? Like, are you sleeping with other women? Are you still sleeping with D? Like, I don't want you sleeping with D no more." Like, she is going through. She's just jealous. Like, well, not. She's just letting him know, and he's like, "No, I'm not. Like, I'm focused on you. Like, I'm a one lady type of man," is pretty much what he's getting at. We come to find out she still is wearing her engagement ring during this conversation. Um, and she takes it off. Like Creed never mentions it. She just takes it off on her own. Like, um, she was just like, I guess it's just time. Like, she's really like, oh, no Rome for me. Strictly Creed. Like, I guess that's where she's at with it. My next note, I put that Rome sounds boring, but throughout this book, he just sound like a very square man. He sound like he wore polos and moccasins. Not he sounds so boring. Um, they went to another car race. This time Summer came with them so she could see the vibes and see everything. Of course, Dylan and Camilla are fighting with our new. That's what they be doing. Um, and Nakira kissed Creed in front of everybody. She did. All right, had a little camera difficulty. I need to get me a new SD card. But leaving back at where we left off, I think where I left off was Nakira kissed Creed in front of everybody at the race. So like my girl is in. Um then we find out like she's talking to Creed again. She's trying to get to know a little bit about Creed's life. And then Akira asks Creed to take her to the club.
to his club that he liked to go to. So she want to go and see for herself what it's about. Um, and then Creed ends up having to go out of town to go check on his business. I'm assuming it's Connecticut because they keep saying New Haven, but they don't never say like New Haven what. But we know that Nakira and his family is on the West Coast, so he's going to the East Coast. So I'm assuming he's going to New Haven, Connecticut. Um, when he comes back, he finds out that Nakira has a sinus infection and an ear infection. And like she ain't been telling nobody. She's just been going around. She think without her hearing aids. So she's just been signing. Um, but they go to the doctors and they find out that she is in her right ear is losing more hearing to the point where she might have surgery, but she don't want to have surgery. Um, Creed ends things with D. Like on his album, well, technically Nakira asked him, but like he basically did on his own. Because in the beginning of the chapter, she said she wanted to be exclusive, da 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 da, and she was like, "I understand, because I'm engaged to your brother, and I haven't ended that yet, but at this point, Rome is still." But so he ends things with D. D's pretty much like, oh, she understand because this is what D do. D is just like, I saw it when you came to the meeting. She just kind of sad that she losing a client in Nakira because clearly Nakira and Rome ain't getting married no more. Rome done woke up after this though, so he awake and he's being an asshole. He yelling at people. Nakira goes in to tell him that she trying to speak to him alone, like I don't want to do this no more. She comes in and the other girl is there. Parents terrible. Apparently the dad looks sick as he should. I feel like this is karma. Like the dad still being mean. I don't understand people who like continue to be mean. Like what are y'all being mean for? But the side girl that we all knew happened, the side girl that was in the car with him when he got into this accident, she like, oh, I didn't sign up to take care of no handicapped man because Roman's in a wheelchair at the moment. It's giving wheelchair Jimmy, because they saying he's could walk again, but it's gonna take a long time for him to walk again. So he got to do like physical therapy. He got to do a whole lot of stuff. But yeah, Roman's just there. He in there yelling like it's just a mess. Taking it out on everybody. The girl leave. Well, Nakira finds out the truth in that Rome been cheating for a year. She gives Rome the ring back, and pretty much Rome was like, you ain't gonna do better than me. Da da da. Creed comes in, of course, to defend. Like, what? That's crazy. You ain't gonna talk to her like that. Blase, blase. But yeah, that's basically what happened. How that like Creed never gave that he felt guilty. Nakira, she talked about feeling guilty and all that. Creed never gave that he felt guilty. He like this. It is what it is. I fell in love. But you did fall in love with your brother's sister. But it never gave guilty. But the way that his brother and his parents act, there's no need to feel guilty. I'm surprised that she stayed the 8 years that she did stay. 8 years too long. I couldn't. They sound terrible. Well, they don't. They are terrible people. Oh, and then I even get the parents knew about the cheating too and was like just okay with it. And the mom had the nerve to tell her, that's just something you won't have to deal with that kind of what? What? No. What do you mean that's just something you got to deal with? Absolutely not. That makes no sense. Creed thinking about moving to the West Coast because Nakira there. He said he would never. He said there was really nothing there for him now, but now he got Nakira. He got somebody over there, so he's thinking about coming home. Now that Nakira broke it off with Rome, she's looking for her a house by the water. She want to get her own house, but we know Nakira don't like to live alone, so she asked Rome to move in with her. But she need to be on her own, in my opinion. She definitely need to get her own place, be her own. Me and Creed on the same wavelength. Like, no, this need to be your spot. I can give me my own spot. But she don't want to be, and I think it's because of her hearing. Like, she don't want to be in the house alone. I get that, but she need to get this. This is her and Bella place. Creed could basically live there, but that ain't his place. He got his own spot. And then he still got the place in New Haven, I'm assuming Connecticut. But yeah, he is expanding his business. It sound like he finna be Amazon. That's what it sound like Creed finna do. Oh, I put in the thing. I said if I was her, I would have blamed it on the parents. I definitely, when I broke it off of Rome, I would have been like, and you should blame your parents. This is all your parents' fault. And basically his fault because he ain't really do much. But like the whole everything about her being banned from the hospital, like I would have been like, and you should blame your parents why I fell into your brother's arms because they basically pushed me there. Cause them parents was being terrible. Rome called Nakira a gold digging whore. I said, oh, he can't be serious. Creed came back to talk to her, like after the whole blow up in Nakira breaking over him. Creed had came back and he had called her a gold digging whore to Creed's face, and Creed was just like, what? And pretty much knocked him out his wheelchair and left him laying there. I thought that was funny. And then after that, literally the epilogue, the last part was Creed taking Nakira to his club, and y'all gonna have to read. I can't get banned on YouTube telling y'all what happened, but read the book or listen to the book because I did this my first audio. But yeah, he took her to the club and they had a time. Okay, but that was basically the book. Okay, these are my final thoughts though. Final thoughts about the book. I enjoyed the book. Hear My Heart by Tay Mo'nae. I enjoyed it. I will give it like a 6.8 out of 10 for sure. If you enjoy the dom and sub play, I feel like you will enjoy the spice in this book. I feel like the spice gave like maybe like a 3 out of 5. Like it was spicy, but it wasn't like spicy. So I'll give it like a 3 out of 5 on the spice. I really dislike the parents in this whole story. Like, I just can't imagine having parents like this. Maybe I don't have parents like that, so like I just can't imagine somebody having some parents like that. You could always say what you would do if your parents like that. I don't know. Parents got a little hold on you to where you certain things you want to say, but I don't know. If Deacon and Maribel, whatever her name was my parents, I would have been like Creed. It would have been no contact with them. I love how Tay Mo'nae wrote about like ASL. Like I took ASL in high school, so like I know a little bit. I haven't had to practice it, so I'm a little rusty. But I like how she like talked about Nakira's the condition and like how she was signed and when sometimes she would. I just like how she wrote about it all together. Really good like that. I'm gonna have to read more of Tay Mo'nae and see what her vibe is. I'm gonna have to find another book. I would look on Audible for like recommendations. Like if I read this, like what else would I read by her? So I'm gonna see what I find. I do wish there were a couple more chapters just about Nakira and Creed after the whole Rome situation, because it felt like the story hit its climax and then the book ended. So like I don't know if that means it's going to be like another book, but it's like as soon as we get to like the meat and potatoes, the book was over. So I'm like, I need more, like a couple more chapters. Like, okay, this is life, or this is what happened after she told Rome, because it's like literally the last chapter, like chapter 29 is where the whole hospital thing with Rome happened, or chapter 28 and 29, because it was like Nakira's point of view and then Creed's point of view of like that whole hospital thing. And then it was just like, it's like we was kind of waiting to get there, and then the book ended, and I'm just like, I wish there were more. But overall though, I enjoyed it. I will read more of her stuff for sure. If you read the book, let me know in the comments how you like it. If you have any recommendations from Tay Mo'nae, let me know in the comments as well. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and check out all my other videos. See y'all in the next one.
Looked up a horoscope. It said to be continued. This is a story about a Scorpio.